Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Oh, just got back from seeing Supergirl, and let me tell you, it was one wild ride. Well, as you can see, I'm not too versed in what adaptation it's based off of comic book wise, and I am aware that this is adapting from Tom King's phenomenal Woman of Tomorrow's run, with pretty good writing and gorgeous artwork. I did get a chance to read it a few weeks ago just to see what I was getting into, and it was something. Anyway, from the acting of our titular Supergirl, I really like her. This one complete and total burnout that's kind of done with everything, but does have a good head on her shoulders, ready to do the right thing and having some sense of guidance about how revenge doesn't always work. It's a one-way trip with even more despair. Kind of a refresher of certain superheroes with strengths, but having to deal with certain fatigues, but in the end, always know when to do the right thing. Kind of a better alternative than seeing a glut of Superman and Superman turning evil wannabes that have been plaguing the discourse for years. Anyway, I really love the use of music. The evocative soundtrack that uses a whole lot of contemporary rock with certain beats and visuals, and they weren't really that bad. I mean, it's a total far cry from what the comics have shown, and it has a kind of more out there tone, but something not typical in a property mostly associated with Supergirl, but I digress. You do get a feel for Supergirl, and as Supergirl is flying so high, but unfortunately isn't that high enough that it cannot escape the stratosphere of its own shortcomings. Like, upon seeing the aggregator reviews and what certain YouTube thumbnails are saying, and I wanted to make this clear, any of my thoughts are not influenced by any of these. I have yet to see them, and I want to see how it goes on in my own end. Anyway, the plot that kicked off felt a little rushed with not very good pacing, especially when it kicks off with the revenge part of Rufy. And she's being way too animate in her pursuit of revenge. And as Supergirl just happens to go on the ride, it's less stakes driven in a more worldwide sense, but does have a lot of stakes personal wise. Eternally even. Anyway, it adds more to the personal goal as it adds to Supergirl's goals of trying to save her dog. And also, I think it's a bit too happy in the dourness and some of the visuals. Like, a certain part of the galaxy really has those dive bars and stuff that is mostly found on Earth. Like, what's the difference between this planet and seeing this I wouldn't see on something on Earth, like differentiate a little? And with the addition of Lobo was basically a scene stealer all throughout the movie, but it felt like there were two movies in one movie that is competing for the same amount of time. Like, if you're gonna make a Lobo movie, make a Lobo movie, or at least a special on HBO Max. You could easily take him out of the movie and nothing would change. Anyway, there was very amounts of character development with Kara, but it felt a little bit too long, laxing in the end. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's either one way or the other. You can't just have it both ways. Anyway, props to the costume designer for making Ruthie look like future Trunks. Anyway, big shout out to the actors and actresses, and not for having potential teasers like post-credit or end credit. That's kind of like going on a rocky pursuit anyway. When it's good, and when it doesn't, it kind of hinders the goal of the movie. It would be something I could see again, maybe as background music, but not much else. But not something I'm gonna hold on high as I did with Superman. Anyway, to any of my current subscribers or newbies on this channel just watching this, I'm doing a complete overhaul and an epic rebound on this following month. So get ready for new things coming forward to us. Anyway,